We are reading from the book Engaged to be Married, the romance novel, Chapter 18, Travelogue, June 2nd through 5th. That next morning, Emily feels much better and eats a little at Charles' coaching. Her pills do make her feel even more energetic. Emily realized that she had missed her noonday dose the day before, and that's what threw her off. They discussed their plans for the day as if nothing out of the ordinary had ever happened. After purchasing bathing suits in the hotel gift shop, an item Charles hadn't considered he would need to pack initially, they had fun at the hotel pool. Finishing for the first time in a long while, Emily swims one lap. Then she discovers she's famished, and that was also the first time in a long while. Emily enjoys a big meal only to lose her lunch in the bathroom about an hour later. She insists that she simply overate and filled up way too fast. Still, she refuses to share with Charles what is physically wrong with her. He figures it must be painful migraines making her blank out and get sick and dizzy. He considers possibly she experienced a brain injury some way and she has become ill from all the pain. He recalls that his mother had suffered migraines for years and would often go to bed sick as a dog. So he tries to dismiss it as nothing more than that. They are forced to lounge in the hotel room the next day because of bad weather. So they order in and play cards and watch a couple of old movies. Surprising him once more, Emily reenacts almost verbatim some lines of age-old films. Charles sees that as his right to tease Emily on being the truly older person in the room. They enjoy each other's company a lot and continue to get along quite well. Talking about anything that comes to mind, they find that they like many of the same things. There isn't a big age difference, actually, Emily finally admits, after calling him an old man several times. She confesses that for most of her life, and under the circumstances that she's found herself in, she has mostly hung around older adults, more so than with young people her own age. Since Emily is dealing with periodic weakness and head pain, they also discover that they are fairly compatible with respect to their energy levels. Emily teases Charles that it is his age that does it to him, while she has a legitimate excuse of a condition for her tiredness, although she still won't give the details of what that is. He's amazed that she can even joke about it, despite the fact that he is certain she should be able to run circles around him, but can't. Late on the night of their forced confinement, in the middle of a rousing board game that they had purchased, they both become too tired to even finish, so they decide to finish it the next morning. Then they take turns using the bathroom, getting showers, and getting ready for bed. Making small talk, Charles pokes his head out of the bathroom door and asks, "Which of your new PJs are you going to wear tonight?" "Does it matter, Charles? You make me use the robe to cover it all up anyway." Emily crawls across the bed. "Unless you'd like to pick them out." "We are keeping this outing PG rated, remember?" Charles feels his cheeks turn red. "So why did you even ask?" "Actually, I don't know." He shrugs. "I was just asking." "Sure you were. Aha! There's a pajama set that you like the best. You have noticed," she laughs. "The old man has a few hidden passions after all." Emily comes waltzing into the bathroom wearing only her big baggy t-shirt. He about chokes on his toothbrush but can't help noticing how lovely she is, even in just a plain tee. Charles turns the other way as he pitches the robe back her way. Emily misses catching it. "Oops, I was just coming to get that. Sorry, Charlie." "Then put it on." "Okay, sorry, Charlie." Emily smiles. "Ha, it's just like that old commercial." With that tuna guy? Charles forces a laugh. Okay, I figured that'd be coming. Lots of fish in the sea out there, Charlie. Charlie gets her point, but he doesn't respond. And he's relieved she hasn't noticed his emotions have nearly gotten the best of him at the very sight of her. Shyly, she smiles and then winks. With her backside to him, Emily bends over to get her robe that fell down at her feet when he threw it over to her. And now he's certain that she's missed catching that robe on purpose. He can't help looking at her quickly and has to force himself to look away. Geez, Em. Look, Charlie. Look at me. I'm a little tuna fish. I'm fresh out of the water. Splish splash. Sorry, Charlie. I love those puns. Emily laughs and runs and jumps and falls onto the bed. Ha ha to you, he sighs. It's supposed to be warm and sunny tomorrow, so let's go over to the zoo again. Someone wimped out on me the other day, you know. We didn't get halfway around all the attractions. Hey, you were ready to leave too. I was not. Oh, yes, you were. I heard your stomach growling in unison with one of those bears, and I saw you eyeing the food pellets meant for the giraffes too. You're so funny. Well, you're the one who fainted from being so hungry. I thought I'd better get you back here before Charlie lamely tries to defend his position. Emily won't admit to him being right. She offers a few alternatives. Charlie, we could take the zoo's train this time, tour the zoo that way, or we could rent bikes. Sure, Em, whatever you want to do. He gives her some leeway and grace. I've been pushing you too hard with that wish list of yours. It's okay. I'm just tired. Most people do that sort of thing, you know. Get tired when it's nighttime. Maybe not Superman, but everybody else does, I'm sure. True. Okay, so let's get some sleep. Okay. In the dim light of the room, Emily drops her robe and senses that Charles is still watching from the bathroom. She blows him a little kiss. Good night, Charlie. Good night, Tiny Tuna. He sees her smile as she snuggles into the pillows, and he continues to watch her from the mirrored reflection as Emily vigorously rubs her head before lying down. He has noticed her doing that a lot when she's tired, but he figures it must have something to do with the scars and her head trauma. Turning his focus to his reflection, Charles lists all the clues that he's garnered about Emily so far. She saw her life at home as a form of imprisonment with restrictions on all her activities, although they had probably done that for her own good under the circumstances, whatever those are. Yeah, probably 2 overprotective parents she has. That's most likely what it is. An attitude of independence is deeply rooted in that girl, but somehow I see it as more. A rebellious runaway daughter, obviously. So, Charles, what is your real excuse for staying away? He has to turn away from the mirror, not able to face himself. For him, it's no longer about avoiding life with Lynette. It's about a desire to continue to enjoy his time with the surprising young Emily. Charles is hoping to somehow contact her family soon. He feels they should know where to meet up with Emily at some point in the near future. It didn't take much for Charles to figure out that she stole money for her train ticket from her parents before skipping out. But he's not shared that observation with Emily. He turns in for the night. Emily again waits to down more pills until she thinks Charles is fast asleep. He can tell that she is feeling worse day by day. On the day, the 15th of their trek, after breakfast, there's more pills, and the two head back to the zoo. Emily is fine with repeating that one special wish that Charles had mentioned. She is fully aware that he's spending a lot of money and time on her wishes, especially considering the hotel and food. They thoroughly enjoy the day together. It's a good day for Emily. The noonday sun shines down unusually warmer than normal for that time of year. They've walked more than she had intended doing, and early in the evening they must call it a day once again. Back at the hotel, Emily has absolutely no energy left. Well, this was fun. I think we may have seen every animal known to man. He chuckles. Generally speaking, yes. Some of those critters I never knew even existed. How about you? Many were new to me too. Different, but so beautiful at the same time. Emily wrinkles up her nose. If you want my honest opinion, some of those sea critters were weird. I'm sticking to lions and tigers and bears. Charles agrees. Those little-known creatures were oddly strange indeed. Classified as fish, I guess. They didn't look like them. It's like God thought he would create a species a certain way and then dropped the ball halfway through and did whatever with the leftovers to finish off those animals. Half of their bodies are beautiful, but the other half are complete oddities. Emily shrieks, yeah, those were some crazy fish. Some scary mutants roaming around in those deep waters, and that gave me the creeps. He laughs. Agreed, they were downright scary. Wow, she yawns. I'm exhausted all of a sudden. Yeah, I'm really tired too, Charles admits. They say their good nights, and Charles is too tired to stay awake to see if Emily gets up to take more of those pills. The next morning after breakfast, Charles gets a call. Again, it's his fiancée. The past 2 times she called, he chose not to even answer. For one, he's afraid Emily will shout out something crude on the phone. He'd be scrambling to explain her presence and her odd comments. But this time Charles decides to take the risk. Still, he pushes open the sliding glass door and steps out onto the patio while taking the call. There's a long silence on his end. Lynette is giving him a piece of her mind. He tries to interrupt, but she's on a tangent. Ultimately, she has to take a breath. Emily can't stand not knowing what's being said. As Charles paces back and forth in front of the patio doors, she presses an ear to the glass to listen. Emily has to smile when she hears Charles' inflexible and demanding tone. She figures it's quite unlike him to be that way with his fiancée. Firmly, he stands up for himself. No, no, no. This is my free time. For the next 50 years, I will be on your time schedule. Yes, that's precisely what I said, and what I know to be true. He prances around when Lynette disagrees with him. Charles throws up his arm. It is true. It's going to be all your way once the I do's are said. Lynette spends 5 minutes pleading with Charles to reconsider his interim plans. He doesn't relent. Because this time is very important to me. And it's for many reasons, okay? So what if they're only my own personal reasons? A pause. I know this doesn't include you. That's the point. Another pause as Lynette responds. Reasons that I didn't even know I had when I first headed out on this trip. That's why. Pause. Well, maybe I don't feel I need to inform you of every single thought that's rolling around in my stupid head, as you say. He glances towards the hotel patio doors and sees Emily peering through the curtain with an ear plastered against the glass. He spontaneously laughs out loud at her strange attempt to be clued in on the conversation with his fiancée. He's thankful she did not step outside and stand beside him. His laughter is cause for another round of accusations from his fiancée through the phone lines. Charles disrupts her tirade. Listen, Lynette, I will say this again and very slowly. I need these 3 weeks. Yes, 3 whole weeks. Besides, it's less than a week now. She cannot believe he is doing this to her. Lynette tries to plead with him. Still, he is unrelenting. Because, Charles clarifies what he meant by that. I'm at the other end of the country. Yes, California. Good guess. It will take some time to get back there by train to you anyway. No, I'll not be flying back. I have my plans all set. Ticket spot. A long silence at his end of the conversation follows again. Finally, he gets in a few words to make his point further. I'm thinking over a few things, Lynette. That's all. He listens a moment to her reply. No, geez, it won't do any good to cry like that. I am sorry that my decision upset you so much. No, I'm not sorry that I've taken off on this trip. Just sorry for you that you are not happy with my decision. Sorry if this was supposed to be the best time of your life. Right now, it is for me, actually. Nearly beside herself, Lynette lays into him once again with her voice sounding off like a foghorn. How can you say things like that to me, Charles? I've waited for 6 years. I've waited for you for this day. We've had long talks and made all these plans for our future together. Charles thinks to himself that those were all her plans, and he just nodded along, accommodating her in passive agreement. He concedes to being harsh with his last remark. Okay, that was cruel, I'm sorry. But don't I have the right to what I want at this time in life too? I've waited 32 years for what? I ask you, Lynette, for what exactly? Not for this argument. Oh no, no way. Again, there's yet another very long pause with his fiancée speaking her mind at the other end. Charles has to hold the cell phone away from his ear this time. He glances over to the sliding glass doors, and Emily is sticking out her tongue at him. She pushes her ears way down to the sides to let him know she's trying to understand what's going on. He burst out laughing again. Oh, it's nothing. A silly kid is making a funny face at me. Yes, I'm having the best time of my life. Well, think what you want to think. And no, again, this trip I'm not cutting short. If anything, I might need a little more time. Panicking, Lynette tries to smooth things over with Charles at the other end of the phone, informing him that despite all his recent odd behavior, she offers her forgiveness. Charles, I sure don't pretend to know what you're going through, but I am here for you. I'm waiting for you. I love you very much, Charles. Charles cannot bring himself to reciprocate. I'm sure you do. Your precious wedding event is at stake after all. Hey, enough said. Listen, I gotta go. Goodbye. He hangs up the phone without her getting in the last word. He knows that riles her all the more. Charles walks toward the patio door, smiles at Emily, and just shrugs. Emily opens it for him and pats him soundly on the back in a congratulatorial way. He sighs. Boy, that was rough. Are you okay? Everything good with you and your lady? Still don't think I should talk to her now? She holds out her arms and walks in a straight line. See? Sober now. All sober. I'll make her understand why I'm with you and why we're both running the other way. Emily's offer almost sounds reasonable at this point in his trip. He puts an arm around her shoulder. They sit on the edge of the bed. Neither has to even speak. There's a sweet camaraderie that has developed between them. Finally, Charles frowns at Emily and pouts. So you are willing to explain everything to her but not to me? Well, that really hurts. She ignores his offended tone. Outside you go, old man. Come on, outside with you. They step out onto the patio. He closes the door and they head for the pool and sit at the edge. Since the rain has gone, the sun has decided to peek through the clouds. Emily has chill bumps but still sticks her toes in, splashes Charles. He screams but jumps in like she has pushed him in the pool, and she sits calmly with her legs dangling over the edge. Emily has to laugh at his odd sense of humor. Charles pops up out of the water, sputtering. Promise me you'll stay here with me these last few days, Em. I really do not want this to end. Not ever. You don't? Don't I wish. Not ever. She gets serious. Well, where else do I have to go, Charlie? You are my destination. Well, that was sweet, Em, but we both know that we'll have to get back to our real lives one day soon. Huh, maybe you do, old man. Not me. It's not even possible. Not going to happen that way for me. Not ever. And she looks away. Two children are playing games at the other end of the pool. In that early morning, they're laughing and splashing at each other. Summer vacation has begun for school children all over the nation. She laughs as she watches them. Children refuse to accept the inevitable. School will once again resume and restrain their eager, free spirits. The kids simply choose to ignore the reality that is to be their life in enjoying their short-lived time of freedom. Emily realized that she is doing much the same as those children. Charles noticed her bright smile, but also there's a big tear mixed in that has escaped from the corner of her eye and is cascaded down her cheek. Emily quickly wipes the tear away. That night, Charles lay staring at the ceiling with eyes wide open. Admitting the truth to himself for once, he cannot help the growing feeling of endearment he has for this girl. He also cannot stand seeing her in a decreased physical condition each day, but not willing to talk about it, especially with him. He wants to help her if at all possible, and he is aware that she won't let him because Emily refuses to burden him with her personal troubles. Once again, he pretends to sleep while she slips out of bed and goes to the bathroom. He hears the pill bottle rattle. As Emily falls asleep, Charles goes over to her bed and lies down on top of the covers next to her. He kisses her tenderly on the cheek and places his arm around her waist. Without meaning to stay there the entire night, Charles soon falls asleep too. This is the end of chapter 18 of the romance novel Engaged to be Married.